Good morning. It is Saturday morning and I've been out and about. Right now we're in my kitchen. I went out and got some Biscuitville, which took a while because they were super busy, which they always are on really any morning, but especially on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, really super busy because their food is so good. They're way busier than McDonald's or anywhere like that because the food is awesome. But the reason I went to Biscuitville is today is kind of a special day. I don't go to Biscuitville very often anymore. I'm trying to cut out food like that. You know, I try not to eat that kind of stuff. But it's really good every now and then. I don't completely, deprive myself of stuff. So the reason I went there is because 2 years ago today, I made my first ASMR video, which is always kind of exciting when I get to July 15th. I always think back on that, and I don't know, I just think it's really cool that I actually started doing that. So as sort of a little celebration, I went out and it's kind of heavy actually. Got a bag of food here. I got some good stuff, and actually I think I need a spoon. I don't have a spoon. Now I have a spoon. Okay. I'm going to show you what I got. Now I've got to put out some napkins to set stuff on. I was going to get hash browns, but they were waiting to cook them and it was taking a while, so they just said, you want fries? So I got fries, and we have these Biscuitville fries, and you can see they're kind of like, if you're familiar with potato wedges, see they still have the skin on them. And they're seasoned, and they really, oh my God, they smell so good. So we have that. And they make these cups. They didn't used to do this, but this is, they redid all their stuff a couple of years ago, and they make it so it will fit in a cup holder in the car. It's really convenient. And then I got my favorite Biscuitville biscuit, which is a fried chicken biscuit. And since it's a special occasion, and since I'm completely blowing my, no fried food, no fast food plan, I also got a container of piping hot grits, which I love. Grits, love them. So we have grits, fries, and a fried chicken biscuit, and real Pepsi. My puppy's down here on the floor. She's actually not whining at me. She's whining at the cat because I'm sitting on one stool and Evie, my cat, is sitting on the other one, and the puppy can't reach her and she's frustrated. Yeah, I'll show her to you if she's still in here after I finish eating. I never drink regular Pepsi, never. But one day I was at Biscuitville, and normally when I would go to Biscuitville, I would just get sweet tea, but they were out. And I ended up getting regular Pepsi. It is because I don't like regular Pepsi. It's too sweet. It's sort of syrupy, and I don't like it. But something about the way they mix it at Biscuitville, it's perfect. It's the best fountain drink I have ever had in my life. It is so good. I never get it. When I would go to Biscuitville, I tried to not get this. I would get water or something. I try not to drink this. But it's so delicious. Biscuitville is a local, kind of a chain, I guess you call it a fast food restaurant. They're only open until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think they open at 5 a.m. or 5:30. I'm never out and about that early, so I don't really know what time they open. But it's very local. I don't know that there are any locations outside of North Carolina, and it's really just in this area. But they have the best stuff. It's so good. So I'm going to open up my grits. They're really kind of hot. I'll show them to you. Now their grits are not the greatest. I mean, they're okay. They're better than some places. So here you go. It looks kind of bland and normal. It's like kind of boring. Yeah, they've congealed a little bit. They get kind of hard after they sit for a minute or two. And they've got a little butter and salt in there. Some people put grits in them. You can get cheese grits at Biscuitville. I just got plain. And they go ahead and add some salt and butter to them. And some people add even more salt, but I think they taste fine the way they are. Those are good. And they try to buy, they get a lot of their ingredients from local farms or people that grow stuff around here. They try to get as much locally as they can. I think their grits are actually from I want to say they're from Thomasville, North Carolina, from some place there. I know they mill them right here in North Carolina. But grits, you see, it's kind of gross looking, and it may be an acquired taste, but I've eaten grits all my life. I mean, I grew up eating grits. It's made out of, you take hominy, which is a type of corn, and I think they dry it and they grind it up, and that's really all it is. There's really nothing to it. It's very simple, basic food, and they give you quite a lot. I mean, there's that's a lot of grits right there. I think it was $1.29. They have a little, I never noticed that. They have some stuff written on here. It says, quick is an instant. Southern cooking doesn't come from a microwave. My Southern cooking does sometimes. That's why we stay true to traditional Southern cooking methods. We slow cook our grits and oatmeal to creamy perfection, unlike the just add hot water variety. Just because we serve you quickly doesn't mean we cooked it in a hurry. And then it has their little Biscuitville Fresh Southern logo beneath that. They actually do have good grits. It's better than some places. When I lived in Illinois, it was a rare thing to run across anybody who even knew what grits were. They didn't sell them up there. They would offer me cream of wheat like that's a suitable replacement. That's like wallpaper paste. I don't want that crap. So that's good. You really kind of want to eat them while they're still warm. Once they get cold, they're not good, and you really can't reheat them. It's kind of a one and done kind of thing. You have to eat them the first time they're made, right when they're made, because after they get cold, they're not good anymore. And if you try to reheat them, they just get really hard and gross. And the puppy's down there slowly destroying a cat toy. Good girl. It's a busy day today. I'm going to be very ambitious today. I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a long time. I'm going to see my mom and my dad in the same day, which almost never happens because they live really far apart. I'm going to my mom's because I'm meeting my brother and his wife down there later today to pick up the puppy and take her for a little while. I don't know how long yet. I'm going to try to teach her some manners and work with her on going outside to go to the bathroom and stuff. Ow! Evie's clawing me. I know you're there. So I have to be down there this afternoon, later today. Cat, she's sitting on the stool just doing that to my legs. Stop it. So I'm going down there this afternoon, and then I'm going to Virginia to see my dad. And they're about 2 hours apart. But after I drop off the puppy with my brother and his wife, I'm going to drive up to Virginia to see my dad because I have a picture I want to take, and if I can get it, and if I'm successful, you'll see it later. It's an idea I had when I was up there. Last weekend? Yeah, I had this idea for a picture. I'm going to take the stuff I need. I'm going to go up there, and basically, I'm just driving up there to take a picture. And that's it. So that's going to be later today. It'll probably be late when I get home tonight. It'll probably be 10 o'clock. Because when I go up to my dad's, I end up just staying up there. And I end up being up there for 3 or 4 hours at least. which is fine. I always have a good time up there. But I'm not going to get anything done here, that's for sure. But looking back on the last year, a lot has changed in the last year. 1 year ago today, I had been in the apartment for about a little over a month. And now I've been in this house a little over a month, and this is much better than the apartment, I can tell you that. The apartment was okay. I mean, it was an apartment. You know, you can only expect so much. And it's never going to be wonderful and perfect and quiet. I love my peace and quiet. I don't like a lot of unnecessary racket. And it really gets on my nerves. So this is better. This is a very quiet neighborhood. I am really amazed at how quiet it is around here usually. And that's wonderful. These fries are so tender. Now, just a little bit of crispiness on the outside. The inside is so remarkably tender. And there's more food here than I can eat. I mean, normally when I go to Biscuitville, my kids are with me, and somebody always eats my extra fries or whatever. Because my kids love their fries. They're really good. They're seasoned with something. I'm not sure. It's like seasoned salt. And they're really good. It's like the Lowry's seasoned salt. It's kind of like that. They're nice and thick though. They're really good. I was kind of looking forward to my hash browns, but it was taking forever. I don't know what the holdup was, but they asked me if I would just take fries. I said, I guess, that's fine. But with the fries, I know I can't eat them all, and I don't have my kids here. That's why I was going to get the hash browns, because it's the hash browns just come in this little oval disc, and you can hold it in your hand and eat it. I can eat that. The fries, my goodness. And they don't reheat very well. It's kind of like a grits. They're really only good the first time you have them ready to eat. And then after that, they just get kind of chewy and just not good. I tried putting them on a sheet in the oven, and they were okay, but they weren't as good reheated. So, yeah, stuff has changed in the last year. What all has changed? Well, I came up with at least 2 characters, Harvest and the Sparkly Friend, which I'm trying to think of a name for her. I don't know. It's kind of like the puppy. I haven't officially named my puppy because I don't like Lucky. It doesn't suit her. It doesn't fit her. I still say Wheezy fits her. I may just name her that anyway, since I'm the one who probably will do most of the caretaking of the dog. And my kids can just get over it. I don't know. She's a Wheezy. She's a Louise. I've taught her to sit. She's very smart. I have taught her to sit, which is good. I'm working on fetch. She'll play fetch for about 2 minutes, and then she gets bored and just takes whatever you're throwing and runs off with it. And she won't give it back to you. But she's doing better. At first, she wouldn't bring it to me at all. I would throw the ball, and she would go grab it and run away. She started bringing it back. She's very smart. I think she's smart. I had a hard time containing her. Yeah, I got some pet gates, and I'm in the kitchen. I thought, well, if I could just contain her in here while I'm at work, especially since the kids aren't here, my older son's not here during the day to take her out to go to the bathroom. I thought if I could just contain her to one area, At least that way it would minimize the amount of area I have to clean up when I come home. Now, I take her out a lot. I take her out about every 20 minutes, roughly, when I'm here. When I get up first thing in the morning, I take her out. Right before I go to bed, I take her out. I mean, I'm constantly taking her out. And she's doing really well with going to the bathroom outside. She's really, really starting to get the hang of that. Really, the only time we have any accidents is when I'm at work. If I'm at home during the day, she goes outside to go to the bathroom, which is wonderful. I can't leave her in the backyard. Like I have the doggy door installed. I'm looking at it right now. It looks nice. And it's going to be great later. The problem is I have a fenced-in backyard, but she is so little that she can scoot under the fence. So, at least for now, I'm going to have to not let her stay back there by herself because she can get out and run away. And I'm sure she probably would do that if given the opportunity. So I can't leave her out there when I'm not with her because she'll just run off. I can't eat all these fries. Look at all these fries I still have left. Oh my God. That's crazy. I'm sure there's an echo in here. The ceilings are really tall in this kitchen. I like it though. I do. It's nice. I like my house. I do. I don't have everything put away. But the good thing is I finally reached a point where I have had to, I've spent all the extra money I'm going to have to spend on just stuff you have to spend money on when you buy a house. It's just, there are all these little things that you end up purchasing that you didn't plan for. And the doggy door was my last big expense for now. That was, I think that was about $230. But my dad really helped a lot there because he came and we worked together to cut a hole in the wall and install the door. I bet if I paid somebody to do that, I bet it would have been $200 because it was about a 4-hour job. It was not as simple as you might think it would be to install it. It took a little longer than I thought it would. But if I'd had to pay somebody to do that, it would have been at least $200. So we got that installed 2 weekends ago. No. When did we do that? I forget. I actually don't remember. And I just realized I did not plug up my computer. So the battery may go dead. But I'll just have to keep an eye on it. I had to bring everything downstairs. Normally I have all this stuff upstairs. Oh my goodness. Look at this biscuit. Look at that. Ooh, dropping some. Now, they make their biscuits with shortening. If you've never had a biscuit with shortening, you have not lived. That is a big old fried chicken biscuit. And they are so good. Harvest would probably just pass out if she saw me right now. I don't care. Look at me. I'm having Pepsi with all its artificial stuff, fried tater wedges, and a fried chicken biscuit. I'm going to get like 37 kinds of cancer before I finish this meal. My God, that is so good. I wish you could try this. It's really great. Some people have asked me, where'd you get the idea for Harvest? Harvest is based on 2 people that I've known in my life who have been a part of my life. They no longer are. And I have to honestly say I wasn't too sorry to see them go because Harvest is an exaggeration, obviously, but one of them in particular was not too far off from Harvest. She would have no problem with anything Harvest says. I think she would be fine with it. She would say, right on, Not a fun person to be around. especially if you have kids, because you don't know it, but you're doing everything wrong, and it's her job to tell you that. It's really annoying. But it's also based on there's a page on Facebook called Sanctimommy, and I get some of my ideas from stuff that people post on there. Just sanctimonious stuff that people put online sometimes about just different topics, usually relating to children. She barks at my shoes. She's in there right now. She barks at my shoes. Why do you do that? Come here. I'd pick her up, but I'm eating, and I don't want dog hands. It's a lot of fun doing that character, though. I enjoy it. I enjoy being sanctimonious. It's nice to be on the other side of that conversation for a change. Because I'm like the anti-sanctimommy. I don't do anything the way she says you should. I know it's a miracle my children are even still alive right now. Neither one of them's in a car seat. Ooh, the horror. Come here. Ooh, babe. Here's a puppy. She is adorable. I love this dog. I do wish she'd stop barking at my shoes, though. It's kind of freaking me out. And Lynette. I think I already had Lynette as a character more than a year ago. Lynette's based on a whole bunch of people that I've known, or that I overhear conversations and stuff. When I was a kid, occasionally my mom would go get a perm at this beauty shop in the town where I grew up. And usually she would go on a Saturday morning, and I would tag along, or she would make me go. I don't remember if I had a choice or not, but I would end up going with her to this beauty shop. And if you've ever gotten a perm, you know how long it takes. I mean, you're there for quite a while. And so I end up just sitting in a chair over there. My mom's getting her perm, and nobody's talking to me. I mean, I was always a very quiet kid. I mean, I still am. In most circumstances, I'm pretty quiet. I don't talk much. And I would just listen to these women in this beauty shop. And in my childhood, I spent hours and hours in this beauty shop. And I would overhear their conversations. And it didn't occur to me, but I was just soaking it all up. All this dialogue and these women that would just come and go while we were there. And it was always funny to me when some of the women would be gossiping about somebody, and then somebody comes in. It would either be that person or somebody who was friends with that person or a relative of that person, and they would just zip it. And then a lot of times they would start talking about the person they were gossiping about like they were just the greatest person on earth. Oh, I saw so-and-so the other day. She is so sweet. And then as soon as that lady leaves, they go right back to talking trash about the person. Oh my God. It was just funny to me. Because, I mean, that's what, I'm not saying it's right, but that's kind of what Southerners, especially Southern women, we're bad about that. I don't even know I guess we are kind of two-faced, but we were raised that you just don't talk bad about people. And you're not supposed to gossip because it's, it goes against the teachings in the Bible. You're not supposed to gossip. So a lot of times they would just spit out a disclaimer like, now, I'm not one to gossip, but, and that's when you're about to get some really good dirt on somebody. If they preface it with that, oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good dirt. That's been my experience anyway. That dog. I could show you this. Look at that little peanut. What you doing, puppy? Hey, what you got? What you got? She's got it was a ball made out of this stuff. It was a cat toy. She has completely destroyed it. Puppy. I've got to think of a name for this dog. But every name that I come up with just doesn't suit her. It's just Wheezy is the only name I can think of that actually fits this dog. She's not a Lucky. I don't like that name. Plus, I got a cousin named Lucky, and it just feels weird to call my dog by that name. I literally do. That's her name. Her name is Lucky. I have no idea what the story is behind that name, but that's her legal name. So, and I don't like it. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. Lucky. I mean, it's fine, but it doesn't suit her. And I've just been calling her Puppy or Hey You, or if she destroys something, it's usually muttered under my breath, Damn dog. That's her name sometimes. I love her to death, but she can be a little destructive. Not bad though. It's not a major issue. This is just simple, good food. You know, it's not high class. It's not anything really sophisticated, but my goodness, it's yummy. I haven't had anything like this in probably 3 months. I've been trying to eat better. I've discussed this before. I deal with depression and anxiety, and when my ex and I were still together, I may not have ever told you about this. Back in February of 2015, I had I don't know what it was. It wasn't a nervous breakdown, but it was something really close to it, and it scared me really bad. I just kind of fell apart. And looking back after being in therapy and talking about it a lot, it was an accumulation of stress from living in an environment where I felt very, very uncomfortable for a long period of time. At that point, I'd been there about 2 years, and I was very uncomfortable. I could not shake the feeling that I didn't belong. I didn't belong there, and I just felt like a guest in my ex's home. I didn't feel like it was my home. I just felt like a guest in the house. And after that, I started going to therapy. I didn't do anything bad. I didn't harm myself or anyone else. I remember it was one Sunday morning, and I went into the closet. We were going to church, never mind. I went in the closet to pick out something to wear, and I just crumpled on the floor and just sobbed. And I stayed there for probably 30 minutes. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. And I was messed up for a while. But my therapist was great. She is a wonderful person. If you live in the Piedmont Triad area and you're looking for a really good therapist, let me know, because I found this woman who is fantastic. Now, she's very blunt. She will not dance around anything. She will tell you exactly what she thinks, even if you don't want to hear it. She is very, very direct. And I like that about her. I do. I didn't like it at first, but I appreciated her honesty. I mean, she's brutally honest. You know, she will just tell you like it is, and she's great. She's been a therapist for about 30 years. She has lots of experience. Great lady. She helped me understand a lot of stuff that I couldn't see for a while there. And I ended up taking an antidepressant, which my doctor assured me wouldn't cause any weight gain. She said, "Oh, no. Nobody gains weight on this. Don't worry about it." I said, "Well, that's good, because I've heard that with some of them you can gain weight, and I don't need that problem added to everything else." And I took it for about 1.5 years. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change anything at all, but I gained 30 pounds. And my doctor kept saying it was, are you sure? You know, I just, nobody gains weight on this medication, so it's got to be something else. I said, no, if anything, I'm eating better, I'm working out more, and I'm still just steadily gaining weight. It's got to be the medication. That's the only thing that's different. I gained 30 pounds. So I did, see, but after I got out of my ex's house, it was like a burden was just lifted off me, and I felt so much better. I felt great again. I felt comfortable. I could come home. I look forward to going home. I look forward to vacations. I look forward to time, downtime where I could just go home and relax, because I never felt like I could relax. And it wasn't my ex's fault. He's a great guy. I mean, we're still on good terms. It's not his fault. I just never felt right there. And I never could put my finger on what it was about it, and I still don't really know. But once I got out of that environment, I discovered I didn't need that medication anymore. I felt so much better, and the whole world looked better. My perspective was better. So I talked to my doctor, and I gradually weaned off the medication. And as I weaned off it, the weight just fell off. Now, I did continue trying to eat better, and I work out. I go to the gym. I try to go 3 times a week. I'm pretty active in the evenings. But I've lost almost all of that 30 pounds now. And I didn't really do anything different. I told her, I said it was the medication. That's the only difference. So I said all that to say this. I don't normally eat this kind of stuff, but man, it's really good. It's a special occasion. 2 years. 2 years doing this. I started out just to see if I enjoyed doing it. I didn't know if I would. But, my favorite person is Gentle Whispering. She always has been. From the first time I ever saw one of her videos, and I still remember which video it was, too. It was a short video, maybe about 4 minutes long. And it was kind of a role play of a home shopping channel thing where she showed us a necklace and a bracelet. And that's still one of my favorites. And that was the first video of hers I ever saw. And that was it. I just said it right at that moment. I found the person I've been looking for. She is everything. She does it perfectly. I don't need to look anymore. I mean, there are other people who make ASMR videos that I like very much, but she's still my favorite. You can thank my therapist for giving me a push to get into this. I was talking to her one day, and she said, do you have any hobbies? I said, not anymore. I said, since I got married, and I don't even know how it happened. It was kind of gradual. All my hobbies just kind of fell by the wayside. I just stopped doing anything for fun. My whole world was, hey, that's the cat. Stop it. Evie is fascinated with the tripod that this camera is sitting on. She plays with it. She tries to knock it over. Stop. Quit. Dang it. That's Evie. That is not me. That is her. Okay, really? Go find something to do. Shoot. You need a hobby. Don't look at me like that. She's still mad at me for bringing a puppy in the house. She's not afraid of the puppy. Honest to God, Kat. She's not afraid of the puppy at all. She'll smack that puppy in a heartbeat if the dog gets out of line. She would just whop her upside the head. My other cat, Pumpkin, has taken up permanent residence upstairs. She won't come down here. She's scared to death of the dog. What was I saying? So I was talking to my therapist about hobbies and the fact that I had none anymore. She said, well, what did you used to do before you got married? I said, well, I used to write. she said, you should get back into that. I said, I'm not really in the right frame of mind for that. I said, I can't do it. I can't. It's like my brain won't work that way right now. I can't even think about writing anything. And she said, well, what else did you used to do? I said, I used to go fishing a lot. She said, well, you can do that. So I started doing that, and she said, I think you need more. I think you need something else. You need something else to do away from him, because he is taking over your entire life. You need something that you can do on your own, that you enjoy, that he is not part of, because you have lost yourself. You've completely lost yourself, and you need to find yourself. It sounds kind of crunchy and tree huggy, but that's what she said. She said you need to do your own thing sometimes. You can't worry constantly about being attached to his hip because that makes him happy. You need your own things. So I said, well, there's this one thing that I was kind of thinking about doing, but I don't think I could do it. She said, what? I said, have you ever heard of ASMR? And I had to explain the whole thing about videos and ASMR to her. She had heard of ASMR, but wasn't aware that there were videos on YouTube about it. I said, well, I was kind of thinking about maybe I could do that, but I don't think I'd be any good at it. She said, well, you won't know till you try. What have you got to lose? If you want to do it, you should try. You should at least give it a shot before you just condemn the whole thing. I said, no. The puppy is destroying a puppy pad. She's attacking it like it's an animal. It's never dull around here. So I said, okay, I'll try it, but I'm not very hopeful about it. And I tried it, and I loved it. I did. It was so much fun. But my concern was there wouldn't be enough things for me to make videos about. I said, what am I going to make videos about? I thought maybe I could I'd have enough ideas to make maybe a dozen videos, and then I'd run out of ideas. I didn't need to worry about that. I can tell you, as of last night, not including this video right here, I think it's 575 videos. Or 576, I don't remember. I made 3 last night. I stayed up really late and I regretted it this morning. Because the pets never oversleep. No. And they make sure you don't either. So I've made over 500 videos in 2 years. And that still just blows my mind every time I think about it. And I love it. It's the most fun thing. Because you can do anything you want. There are really no rules. As long as I'm not doing anything illegal. You can do anything you want. My ex did not care for me making videos because it took time away from him, and he didn't like that. He wanted us to literally just do everything together. If we could go to work together, he would have wanted that too. And I felt like I was suffocating. And I put my foot down and I said, I will do it. I enjoy this. And I'm going to keep doing it. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't take up that much time. You're about to bark at me, aren't you? She ran away. So I put my foot down and he didn't like it. That's not why we split up. No, it's not that simple. Sit. Good girl. She thinks I'm going to give her something to eat. Because if you come in the kitchen, that's what you're going to do. You're going to feed her. That's what she thinks anyway. I got so many ideas for videos from people. Man, I tell you, I get the greatest ideas from people. Stuff I never thought of. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything. All the nice things people say. The good ideas. And the support. Because, a lot has happened in the last year. A whole lot has happened in the last 2 years. And, I still can't believe it sometimes. I look around and I go, oh my God, I'm really, how did I get here? It's just weird. It's almost like my time in the apartment was just a bad dream and it's over now, and I woke up and I'm back in a normal environment where I don't have people screaming downstairs at all hours of the night. People on the other side of my bedroom walls screaming at each other, and then if I bang on the wall, they scream at me, and people getting robbed in the parking lot. That happened once when I was there. Fortunately, it wasn't me. People hitting me up in the parking lot for weed. I had that happen once. Asked me if I knew where to get weed. Do I look like somebody who would know that? Really? I was called a horrible name in the parking lot right in front of my kids. That was bizarre and totally unwarranted. It's my downstairs neighbor. I don't even know the guy. Call me a bad name. But yeah, it's like all that's just a bad dream. It's over now, and we can get back to regular life, which is such a relief. And you've been there through all of that, all of it. No matter how goofy or crazy it got, you were still there. So that was cool. And I appreciate that. I enjoy coming up with ideas for these characters. Like the sparkly friend. I'm going to name her eventually. Just every name I try doesn't fit. I want a name that sounds like a gold digger, but not a stripper. So I don't know. I've had a really hard time finding one that seems to fit her. And Harvest and Lynette. I have such fun coming up with stuff for them to do. It's just cool. I don't know if you know or not, but I wrote a book and I read it in 17 different installments on here. And I've been working on the sequel to that, but I haven't really done anything with it in a long time. It's just kind of sitting there, and I haven't worked on it much, but I'm going to try to. Because I've always loved coming up with stories. Even when I was a kid, I grew up out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, really, we lived on this dirt road, and we were the only house on the whole road. There were no neighbors anywhere. All the land was owned by a lumber company, except for the little bit that we had. And so I didn't have anybody to play with. I have a brother who's older, but he was always kind of an indoor kid, and he liked doing stuff inside, and we didn't really have any of the same interests. He would play with me some just because he was a good big brother and he was just trying to be nice. But I spent a lot of time by myself. I played a lot by myself. My parents were always busy. They didn't play with me. So I had a lot of time to myself growing up. And I loved to take my toys outside, and I would take them out and I would invent stories. And it was just like a whole arc. It's like a whole storyline that would take place. And I would just come up with it as I went along. And I did that throughout my whole childhood. And I still enjoy doing that. And a lot of the stuff that these people say, I make up on the spot. I don't plan it ahead of time. And I don't ever know exactly what they're going to say or what they're going to do. And it's always interesting to me to see what's going to happen. So for one of my characters, I'm going to go take a picture today. I'm going all the way to Virginia to take a picture. It's a fun drive. I don't mind it. I get to see my dad and some of his friends and stuff. He knows a lot of great people up there. One really cool thing I got to do. I would love to make a video. I don't know when I could get up with him. My dad knows this guy who lives up there. And his name is Spencer Strickland. He makes guitars for all kinds of people. If you Google Spencer Strickland, you can see. I don't know if you probably Google Spencer Strickland guitar, and you can see some of the stuff he's made. I got to go to his shop where he makes all his guitars, and I got to talk to him. Really fascinating guy. Really nice guy. So I got to see some of the stuff he was working on. Beautiful stuff. Expensive stuff. But that's what he does. He makes guitars, and I think he also makes other instruments like mandolins, stuff like that. Beautiful, beautiful work. He puts a lot of care into it, and he's very talented. But my dad knows all these fascinating people up there. And Spencer's just one of them. I mean, he knows all these neat people up there. And there's always something going on. It's always fascinating to go up there because there's always something. My dad is always in the middle of something, and it's always interesting to hear about what's going on. So anyway, I'm going up there later. I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to put it on I have a Facebook page for Southern ASMR Sounds. I'll put it on there, and I will probably feature it somehow in an upcoming video. So, but I ate everything but my fries. I cannot eat all these fries. I'm full. So I'm going to get a few things done, and I'm going to pack some stuff in the car, and then I'm going to take off for my Saturday adventure to my mom's and to my dad's, which is cool to be able to say that I saw them both in one day. That never happens. I've had times where I could say I saw them both in one weekend, but not both of them in one day. They were married for 33 years, but they've now been divorced for about 25 years. So, yeah, and they don't live near each other. It really was one of those divorces where they just, I want nothing to do with you ever again. I love both my parents, and honestly, this divorce was one of those divorces where everybody was better off in the long run. It was a sigh of relief for our entire immediate family when they split up. Everybody was happier with them separate. So I'm going to go see my family, my parents. Oh, and I'll get to say I saw my brother too. My brother lives in Georgia, but I'm going to see him at my mom's. I can say I saw my entire immediate family today. Probably the last time that happened was at a family reunion in 1989. Was the last time the four of us, I saw that. In a way, I was kind of with all of them in one day. The last time, and I have a picture from that, a picture of the four of us together at a family reunion. It was either 88 or 89. My brother was in the Navy. I remember he had come home for something, and he went to the reunion, and we have a picture of the four of us together. And yeah, that was in the late 80s. It's the last time we were all together. And we're not all going to be together today, but I'm going to get to see them all, which is really exciting. So I'm going to go do that, and thank you again for watching my ridiculous stuff. I'm really glad you do, because I thoroughly enjoy doing it, and I don't have any plans to stop. So thanks to you, and thanks to my therapist for pushing me to do it. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later. Oh, I was going to show you the puppy. Hang on. Come here. Come here. Come here. I finished eating now. I'll show. Come here. Here's the puppers. He's a puppy. See, I would have used her in my gold digger video last night, but she's way too hyper for that. I needed a dog that was better trained, so we went with the little golden retriever. Sniff the microphone. Ooh, she doesn't care. So this is the puppy, and hopefully eventually she'll have a name. Arr. See? Oh, it's a puppy. It's a puppy. Arr. He says, why are you doing that? Arr. But she's a good girl. Yes, she's a good girl. Don't bite my earring. Ah! Okay. This is the puppy. She's a sweetheart. She's crazy. But she's a lot of fun. Oh, she wants me to pick her up again. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to go do stuff now, and I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you later.